To be quite honest, I didn't know whether I was going to be able to do a vlog this week because I've been through a roller coaster of emotions that if you've been through grief, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. At one point, I even questioned if I was going back into a depression, but I don't think so. It's a very, very, very different experience. And today I am going through an update. I don't know if tomorrow will be awful or if in 1 hour I'll break down. But again, if you've been through grief, you know what I'm talking about. 1 week ago, my dearest abuelita, Vicenta, passed away at 101 and a half. And well, it's been quite the ride because she really was like my mother. She raised me, and I don't mean that she helped a mother raise me. She raised me instead of a mother. So I guess that's what I've been feeling, I guess, is what you probably feel when you lose your real mother. I'm doing this video and it's the first time that I have the sun shining on me in the room, and it kind of feels like I have to do this video, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. If you know my story, or if you've seen another of my videos that's called exactly like my book, Reach from Single Mom on Welfare to Digital Entrepreneur, you might know the story, and if you don't, I will summarize it really, really fast. In the year 2008, I lost my marriage, my source of income, my savings, everything except my kids, my hope, and a box of jewelry that had a couple of heirlooms and things that had been given to me by my family, especially by my dear abuelita. She always said, "Yo lo que os tenga que dar os lo doy en vida." Whatever I am going to give you, I will give it to you when I'm alive. In one of the moments where I was on welfare and I couldn't hardly feed my kids, I did get a lot of help from actually Abuelita. Abuelita gave me some of her pension through my dad, who would mail it to me from Spain. That's where she used to live. And when I found 1 month that I could not possibly pay the rent, I had that box of jewelry that was my family's legacy, that you know, was somehow my connection to my family and to her. I realized that by selling that jewelry, which had more sentimental value than anything else, I would be able to pay the rent. But I didn't want to do it without my abuelita's permission. So I called her in Spain and I told her of my situation. I also told my dad. I really wanted to ask her permission to do what I was going to do. And my abuelita said, well, that, you know, I gave it to you, and if that's the gift that it's going to give you and the girls, which is to pay the rent, go ahead and sell it. And so she gave me her blessing. Well, I've told this story in a book. As I said, I've told it on a stage. I've told it in blogs. I've told it in conferences. But I always left one part out. And I genuinely believe it is because I forgot. Around a month ago, I think, is when we all realized that Abuelita was leaving us. And my sister Laura flew to Spain. It's a long story why I didn't fly to Spain myself. I'm going through some health issues, which I also explained in a different video. And I also have 3 kids. But the point is that I felt super connected to my grandmother. When I found that she was moved to palliative care in a hospital in Madrid, where my sisters and my brother and my father and his wife were all there with her, my way to connect with her, because she couldn't get on the phone or speak, was meditate and write to her. I even went to a church, which I don't usually do, and I went to the beach, the place where she loved to be, and I talked to her, and I sent her all the love I could and positive thoughts so that she could go in peace. Because I've read that when you're not wanting somebody to go, you're like tethering them here, and I really wanted her to have a good transitioning, I guess. On the night of July 12th, I was lying in bed and I thought, I wish I had something to remember Abuelita with. I wish I owned something or had something that could connect me to her. And suddenly I remembered something I had buried deep in my mind, and it is that I had something. and I jumped out of bed and looked through all my silver jewelry because I thought I didn't own any gold jewelry anymore, but I did. I was super happy to find this ring, which belonged to my great-grandmother. She gave it to me when I got engaged to my daughter's father 20 years ago. It's not so much the value of the ring itself, but the sentimental value that it has and how she gave it to me and who it had belonged to. And I don't know if it belonged to somebody else before that. But that night, I put the ring back on my finger and I felt complete, like she was hugging me. 3 hours later, she passed away. I had a missed call at that time from my sister in Spain. And when I woke up the next day, I called my sisters and they gave me the news. Think what you will, but I somehow think that she led me to find that ring, or the connection that we were having led her to remind me, there is something, you do have something, and I haven't taken it off since. I will not take it off again. Today, I kind of wasn't up to doing much, and I was thinking a lot of my grandmother, and I kind of took a nap, and I remembered her and the summers we spent with her at the beach. She took us to the beach a lot. That's where she was born. I kind of was having the urge to create something new, something to help people, because in her later years, my abuelita was scared of going out to the street. She did live a great life. Her head was fine. She remembered all of us. She was perfectly fine. But she did live at least the last 10 years of her life kind of sitting in the living room and kind of bound to the house. And I feel that if she had maybe gone out more or moved more, or not been afraid of falling, because she had fallen 15 years before and she would fall once in a while, if she had somehow managed to keep herself in better shape, she might have enjoyed her later years more. And I woke up from my nap and I had this idea: teach people how to exercise and enjoy their bodies, not only to look good. Having washboard abs for me is overrated. I honestly don't work for them. I don't have them. I am in relatively good shape and hope to be for many years. And what I would love is to help people realize that fitness is not to look great. Fitness is to be able to get up from the floor without having to use your hands. Fitness is about not being afraid to go up or down the stairs because you're going to fall down. Fitness is knowing you have good balance and flexibility so that if you do fall, you can push yourself up. And so it's about leading a better quality of life, especially after a certain age. So I have started a whole new thing called the Flawed, as in flaws, the Flawed Yogini. And immediately after I had the idea, I secured the URL. It's available. I secured all the social media handles. So this is another gift that my abuelita gave me. The Flawed Yogini, which is about dispelling myths about fitness and the people who practice fitness and all that perfection we think we see in others. We are all flawed. Her ring seems to have helped me start a new project and a new phase of my life. The entire family is going to have to rearrange themselves because their life especially centered around my grandmother. I will invite you to read my book, Reach from Single Mom on Welfare to Digital Entrepreneur. And now you know another part of the story that wasn't a part of this book. I don't usually get teary-eyed in my videos. This one is a little bit different and special. If you liked it, please like it, share it with your friends. If you didn't like it so much, check out my other videos. Maybe one of them will make you want to subscribe.